Good morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us today on this very important announcement. We are so proud to partner the City of McAllen with Rio Grande Regional Hospital, and of course the partners through the Mayor's Wellness Council and the McAllen Police Department. And it's so great to start on time. We were just
talking about
we were
how
kind of unsure of what to
right on
do.
time?
We're right on time. So my name is Xochitl Mora. I'm the Director of Communications for the City of McAllen, and joining me, of course, is Adriana Morales, who's the Director of Community Public Relations for Rio Grande Regional Hospital. And we are here to give you details about a very important initiative taking place here in McAllen in just a few days. But before we continue, I would like to recognize some very special guests here with us today, including the Honorable Jim Darling, Mayor of the City of McAllen.
Thank you.
Of course, we have with us the City Manager for the City of McAllen, Mr. Roy Rodriguez, and Assistant City Manager, Ms. Michelle Rivera. Of course, part of this initiative, and we'll be hearing from him shortly, is our Chief of Police, Mr. Victor Rodriguez, and all of his team who is here with him to help support this initiative, and the Health and Environmental Director for the City of McAllen, Mr. Steven Casados, and his team. And for our Retail and Business Development Director for the City of McAllen, Ms. Rebecca Olaguibel. And of course, the staff from the City of McAllen Office of Communications who are going to help spread the word about this important initiative. And of course, our partners with the Rio Grande Regional Hospital, we have the Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Chris Rivera. David Irizarry, who is the Chief Operating Officer for Rio Grande Regional Hospital. And Isidro Ramirez, who is the Director of Pharmacy for Rio Grande Regional Hospital. Thank you all so much for being here. And just to talk about why this collaboration is so important for us as we raise awareness of the dangers of opioid addiction and what that means here in our community and how we can prevent it, we would like to hear from the Honorable Jim Darling, Mayor of the City of McAllen.
Thank you.
Good morning, and we're here to talk about a problem that really is kind of come to the forefront in relationship to opiate addiction. You know, and you're hearing a lot about lawsuits going on and all those things, but I think it's a good reminder for us to do some common things that maybe all of us share, and that is we have a lot of drugs in our bathrooms that are there for years and years, don't think about it. Sometimes they'll access to kids, you know, who hear about it. They know social media, they hear stuff like that. And so this is a way to partner up with Rio Grande Regional to crush the crisis, to make sure that people that have those, I looked at my medicine cabinet today and I was astounded. I had drugs from like 2009, 2011. They weren't all opiates, but they were things that I wouldn't necessarily flush down the toilet. We tell people all the time, don't do that because it ends up in the water stream somehow and in animals and whatever it is, it's not good to do that. And so what do you do with the drugs? And so we don't recommend putting them in the landfill through your garbage. So this is going to be a partner with Rio Grande Regional to give us an avenue to get rid of those, go through your medicine cabinets and take a look at all the drugs. It doesn't have to be opiates. It could be, for instance, antibiotics. Chris, is that right? Antibiotics and anything that we wouldn't normally want in either in the garbage bins or in flushed down the toilets. And so taking an opportunity to go and look at that, because it's important not only so that you're not tempted to take out of date drugs, whether it's painkillers or antibiotics, but that's not good for you healthy wise, but it's also not good to have those kind of things laying around. So you know, addiction strikes in our community affects us all. And especially the opioid one's kind of a different one a little bit because those usually spring from a prescription that's legal, that's given you by the doctor, and then it results into abuse and other things that have taken many lives in our community and certainly ruined many, many more. So it can affect us whether it's race, class, or background. It affects everybody in our communities, and I think that's why we and the Mayor's Council really want to focus on that as part of our health efforts that we're doing. So we want to do that from a standpoint of partnering with Rio Grande Regional, but reminding people every day that mental health and freedom from addictions really prevents us from having happy and healthy lives. So our partnership with Rio Grande Regional Hospital is important. I hope it's not just a one-time thing, but it's a great reminder to get in those medicine cabinets and take a look at what's in there, get rid of out-of-date things, get rid of things you don't need. You know, when the doctor says, I had my knee scoped and he said he wants some painkillers, I said, well, I guess I better because I don't know if it's going to feel like later. But I ended up only using 2, so I had a whole bunch left over. And what do you do with them at that point? So go ahead and take a look at that. It can happen to anybody, not addiction necessarily, but having unused drugs in your medicine cabinets that ultimately could fall in hands where they're not for the benefit of the person taking them. So I'd like to thank you, Chris, and partnering for Rio Grande Regional, making this a community effort and also community awareness. And we need to probably do this more frequently. Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, we do have several members of the Mayor's Wellness Council, and we are proud to partner with Rio Grande Regional Hospital because it is so important that we are affecting all aspects of health, which includes our physical, spiritual, and mental well-being. And so this initiative, Crush the Crisis with Rio Grande Regional Hospital, is going to help our community, the city of McAllen and beyond, to be able to reach that goal. And to talk to us about what this Crush the Crisis initiative is taking place on Saturday, let's hear from Chris Rivera, the Chief Executive Officer of Rio Grande Regional Hospital.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and good morning to our community. As mentioned, my name is Chris Rivera. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Rio Grande Regional Hospital, and my team and I are here to provide you some information regarding what we refer to as Crush the Crisis. It is a national crisis that we are addressing from a national standpoint and bringing it here to the Rio Grande Valley. So what does that mean? What does Crush the Crisis mean? Our corporation, Hospital Corporation of America, which Rio Grande Regional Hospital is affiliated with, has decided to be part of an awareness across the nation and to help people understand that opioids or those type of drugs that help us with pain management are becoming a major problem across the nation. And it is to the extent that a lot of people are addicted to these pain management type of drugs. They're, a lot of times, the majority of the times, they are prescribed. Yet a lot of people become addicted to them. A lot of people, though, as mentioned by our mayor, will use maybe 1 or 2 pills and then they get put away in the back of a medicine cabinet. So this Crush the Crisis opportunity here for us is to help you not only raise awareness, but give you an opportunity to get rid of those drugs that we don't want thrown in a bin, and maybe someone else will pick them up and become addicted to them, or flush them down the toilet, if you will, and then they end up contaminated our clean water, and we don't want to do that. So in partnership with Mayor Darling, with the Wellness Committee, and our Chief Rodriguez, we want to be able to help the community and extend this opportunity to get rid of those drugs that are no longer being used and are not going to affect anyone else. So on Saturday, the 21st, at Rio Grande Regional Hospital, we will be collecting all of the drugs that this community does not need, does not want to use, and we will dispose of them appropriately. Our city representatives are helping us with this process. Our Chief Rodriguez, our Chief of Police, is helping us with this process because it's important that we do handle those drugs appropriately and we follow all of the state and national guidelines. But we are there to help the community, and we are there to be able to raise awareness as we go through this process. Now, let me just mention a few more items before I conclude. Crush the Crisis is a national initiative, and I, as a member of Rio Grande Regional Hospital, which is affiliated with HCA, I thought, why not be able to participate at this community level? So we are the first in the Rio Grande Valley to be able to provide this service to everyone within the Rio Grande Valley. Everyone is welcome to come by the hospital on Saturday to be able to dispose of any drug that is no longer needed. And I have Isidro Ramirez, our pharmacy director here, that will be available to answer any questions that you might have related to those details. But I also want to mention one or two other things, and that's the fact that even though it's a crisis across the nation, it is not here in the Rio Grande Valley, thank goodness. But we want to be proactive and be able to address this before it does become a crisis in the Rio Grande Valley, and that's why we are participating. Another reason we're participating is because of our mission. Rio Grande Regional Hospital's mission is, above all else, we are committed to the care and improvement of human life. And this is part of our way to be able to improve the lives of the people here in the Rio Grande Valley. So thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you for partnering with us. And Chief Rodriguez, thank you so much for the support that you continue to provide us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. So there are all the details. We do have plenty of information packets and press releases and posters in both English and Spanish in the back so that you can take with you. And then we'll, of course, distribute that electronically so you can share that information about this initiative on Saturday. And one important point about this is that it is no questions asked. So again, we encourage everyone in the community to bring those unused pills, expired pills, et cetera, to this event so that they can be disposed of properly. And now to talk about why it is so important to have that sort of prevention here in our community and how this opioid addiction and, of course, what can result from that is our Chief of Police, Mr. Victor Rodriguez.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Mr. Mayor, our city manager, staff, Chris, and your staff. First, let me thank you for letting us be part of this. It's such an important task to take on for our community. I think you're right when you say we're not at epidemic levels here. I want to speak to that. I think that's probably the value in all of this is to build on that, the knowledge that we may have from other experiences. On behalf of the McAllen Police Department, I want to thank you for allowing us to be part of this project. Opiate abuse has destroyed hundreds of lives in the United States. One estimate is that about 400,000 persons have died as a result of opiate addiction and opiate abuse since 1999. Many today suffer from the effects of addiction to drugs that originally had been prescribed for the relief of pain. The result was addiction. That dependency threatens lives, and it threatens public safety as well. We believe that somewhere around 400,000 persons have lost their lives since 1999. One other estimate suggests that about 130 people die every day as a result of opiate addiction, opiate abuse, and the results thereof. One of the significance of this project is that this, like many of the problems that we confront every day in our everyday lives, is that addiction can be conquered. Opiate Take-Back Day, like that hosted by Rio Grande Regional Hospital, will help us turn this devastating threat around. So today we ask our communities. We obviously are very, very, very glad and very supportive of Rio Grande Regional's effort this particular Saturday. We'll be there to assist them to take inventory in, and thereafter to assist them to properly dispose of whatever folks bring into the hospital. We hope that by virtue of doing this, Chris mentioned something that I think is very, very important. That is that, like many things around the country, RGV is different. Texas is different, and then South Texas is even more so different. We've been lucky. We've not been at the epidemic levels that other areas of our country have been at with regard to this particular problem. So therefore, I hope that this particular project here in South Texas takes the greatest value in this form, and that is knowledge. knowledge that opiates can be the basis for addiction, and addiction can be the basis for a danger to life, family, and public safety. Many folks don't understand that latter one, the public safety is. That is, when you're addicted, then you will do things in order to keep that addiction growing. So, we ask our community that today recognize that opiates are addictive. Recognize that addiction threatens your life, your family, and the general public safety of your communities. We ask you to return unused opiates, and that you do so at Rio Grande Regional Hospital's Crush the Crisis Opiate Take Back Day on Saturday, September the 21st, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. at 101 East Ridge Road in McAllen. We will be there to support the project. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief, for that valuable information. Yes, Mayor, please.
And one thing we want to point out, you don't need to bring the prescription bottle. It helps if you do, but if it's loose, you can still bring it that way. But, so don't worry about that if you don't have it. Right, and if you're worried about, I don't know what you're going to do with they take that home with them, right, the prescription bottle? Yeah, so then you could take off the label and throw it in the trash at that point, but you don't need to have that. Right.
So there you have it, folks. That is the information about this Saturday's Crush the Crisis Opioid Pill Take Back Day happening at Rio Grande Regional Hospital this Saturday, 9 a.m. To 1 p.m. No questions asked, so just bring back all those unused pills. We want to dispose of them properly and keep our community safe and healthy. So thank you all so much for being here, and we'll just adjourn this press conference, and I'll let Chris and Mayor take over, and Chief, of course, with any questions or personal interviews. Thank you so much.